Coming up.
Oh, frantic.
Oh, he's good, isn't he? Any good?
Well, you know.
If you, Mark, could chat up a lady.
Let's just see how good you really are.
Right, Sandra?
Brian, I bet I can.
Stop it, get room.
I now feel a fool.
Yes, well, it's quite a difficult one, isn't it?
Maybe not, then.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello, and welcome to How Do You Say That, sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk. So if you like to chat about all things voiceover, you know, stuff like scripts and storytelling and how to get the most out of the words on a page, you're in the right place, because this is a podcast for everyone who reads scripts out loud, even if it's just to their dog. So, which is what obviously Mark does all the time.
I do all the time, yeah.
Let me introduce my co-host, Mark Rice.
Hello.
Hello. Today's fun fact about Mark is that his guilty pleasure is he likes reading trashy wartime romantic fiction.
I know, it began because I used to read the stories to my mum, and then I really got into the stories. Jean Fullerton is one of my favourite authors on that. So it's like, but I also read spy stuff and other stuff as well, but I do like a bit of wartime trashy romance.
I must admit that Jean Fullerton, I think that the very name itself conjures up lots of excitement there.
Totally. Well, my co-host is Sam Boffin, who once, get this, played the ghost of Princess Diana. Ouch. Wow.
Just the voice part of it. Obviously, I didn't drift across the stage or anything like that.
I was going to say.
Just the voice. It was in a play called Charles III.
I'm sad I missed it.
I bet. And of course, we also have a special guest who this week is voice actor Aubrey Parsons.
Hi, Aubrey.
Hello, Aubrey.
Hello.
I'm very impressed, Aubrey. You have an amazing testimonial on your site from the late, great Sir John Hurt.
Yes.
Oh, he does.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Aubrey is a Welsh native raised in the UK, and as an audiobook narrator, he has sold, is this right, over 160,000 audiobooks to date.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. That surprised me, because I only found that out the other day. I'd seen somebody talking that they had a guest on one of their podcasts, and they were saying, they've sold over 50,000 audiobooks. I thought, I wonder how many I've sold. And I was quite surprised.
Brilliant.
Just incredible.
Brilliant.
160,000. That's just amazing. So
Yeah.
his voice is described as versatile, warm and engaging, and he's also got experience as a singer, a producer and a studio engineer. He has worked on projects for major brands such as Roland, Disney and the BBC, the Royal Mint, Molyneux and Doctor Who.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sam's special. Well, he's also a character voice and accent specialist. He covers all English regional accents, both Northern and Southern Ireland, and many European accents too.
Wow.
And also, Sir Anthony Hopkins has described you as having a beautiful voice as well. I mean, talk about high praise indeed, Aubrey.
So
Yeah.
starry.
I know.
Have you got a fun fact for us?
My fun fact is that I was the lead singer in a band called the Conrods, which was Damon Hill's band, the racing driver. And his fun fact used to be that he was once pulled over by the police, and the policeman walked up to the car and said, "Who do you think you are, Damon Hill?"
Oh,
And he said,
brilliant.
Love it. So did you play any notable gigs, any big venues?
No, we did a lot of sort of corporate stuff for vehicle manufacturers, you know, Mercedes and people like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was great fun. The band was made up from various bands, including some of the guys from Simple Minds, and you know, it was.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Well, on that musical note, let's have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
So this is something that I have been working on, and it's a bit of a list, I'll be honest, guys.
It looks corporate, but it looks a difficult list to do, a difficult way of knowing how to approach it.
Yes, and let me tell you, it goes right up to 2024.
Oh, and you've only given us to 1974, so that was a long list, blimey.
Yes.
So it's partly making it not seem too dull.
I don't like to use that word dull, but yes, I mean it was actually quite a fun thing to do, but it's a very factual thing.
Yes.
And that's what they needed. This was to celebrate, whatever it was, 50 odd years of being, being at the top of their game.
Please tell me there was a whoosh or something between each timeline change.
An explosion.
I have no idea. I would like to think there was. But
I'm going to assume that.
Yes, let's assume that. You would assume there was a whoosh following you everywhere.
I would.
Though.
I'm guessing that this would be cut to some kind of video, it's like some kind of business-to-business explainer, isn't it?
It is. And I never saw the video. I like to put that out there right now.
Okay.
I never saw the video. I think they built it around me. They didn't really build it around me, but, they got the timings from my speed.
Mm.
Sure. And do we think that the pronunciation is ODI 100
It is.
and Aline II?
It is.
So that's as it reads on the page.
As it reads on the page.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Aubrey, I'm going to have a go first, and then we'll have a quick discussion about that, and then see what you come up with.
Yeah.
Okay, then. List, but not boring list. Here we go. In 1972, Odin launched our modern diagnostics business, quickly becoming a world leader in cutting-edge diagnostics, screening and monitoring technologies. 1972. Odin introduces the ODI 100 blood chemistry analyzer to determine enzyme levels and analyse blood components. 1974. Aline II, an improved hepatitis test developed by Odin, allows hospitals and blood banks for the first time to supply blood for transfusion the same day it is drawn.
God, it takes me back to how exciting this was.
That's quite a long sentence, that last one.
It is.
Heavens.
I was chuckling away because it's just like...
It's fairly dry,
could
isn't
it be? I was going to say, the minute you've got something called modern diagnostics business, you know where you're going with this, don't you?
Yep.
But
they didn't direct you when you did this, did you? It wasn't a live session.
No, can you imagine? Sort of.
God.
Now, 1987.
I was trying to pique my interest a little bit. 1972.
Yeah, don't give up in 1972. You're only one date in.
It's quite difficult to get kind of friendly, modern, approachable out of that, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. You did a very good job, actually, in that sense, I think, because it is hard to breathe. That's the job, isn't it? I guess that is the job, to make this sound entertaining. My favourite word.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
This is practical information, isn't it? You can't, it's not, it is telling a story, but it's, it's about technology and business. What are you going to do with that? It's
Exactly.
So, Aubrey, why don't you have a go? Let's see what 1972 and 74 can come from you.
Okay. All right, let's give this a crack then. In 1972, Odin launched our modern diagnostics business, quickly becoming a world leader in cutting-edge diagnostics, screening, and monitoring technologies. In 1972, Odin introduces the ODI 100 blood chemistry analyzer to determine enzyme levels and analyse blood components. In 1974, Aline II, an improved hepatitis test developed by Odin, allows hospitals and blood banks for the first time to supply blood for transfusion the same day it is drawn.
I saw what you did there, Aubrey. I saw what you did there with the 72 and the 74.
Lists, innit?
It is, absolutely, it is lists. But what I loved about it, because you have a very lyrical quality already to your voice.
Absolutely, from the Welsh side, yeah.
What a good choice you would have been, in fact, for this.
Well, I purposefully added my Welshness to that one.
You kind of lent into it, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
You very definitely added the in to 1972 and 1974. And that was obviously a very deliberate thing that you did there to try and make it sound less like a list.
Yes, absolutely. I am one of these people that occasionally does have a habit of slipping in an extra word, for want of a better expression.
I think clients sometimes like it because they haven't thought of that.
Yeah. A script written, it can sound very dry.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've picked up from being an audiobook narrator and talking to authors and saying to them, when you write, you need to imagine that they're reading this, they're hearing it in their head, or it's being narrated. So as it's being read out loud, which is what books were originally meant to be. They were never meant to be read silently.
Yeah,
they were read to be read to other people because so few people read. So the same goes with copy, is that you can write a piece of copy, but when you say it out loud, something's not quite right. So it needs tweaking sometimes. I know that's not my job. Sometimes you can't help it.
You offer it up as a choice, and then they can either go, yeah, actually, great. I've oftentimes, had clients say, oh, do you know, we didn't think of that. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. And of course, equally, many times they've said, no, we want it just like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sam, can we hear how you did it?
No. Yes, I can. Sorry. In 1972, Odin launched our modern diagnostics business, quickly becoming a world leader in cutting-edge diagnostics, screening and monitoring technologies. 1972. Odin introduces the ODI 100 blood chemistry analyser to determine enzyme levels and analyse blood components. 1974. Aline II, an improved hepatitis test developed by Odin, allows hospitals and blood banks for the first time to supply blood for transfusion the same day it is drawn.
I loved what you did there. You went to the name of the product that they did and you really slowed down. You really made it, because that was the main thing in that sentence. So, I mean, you literally halved your speed on ODI 100.
Yeah.
And I think I probably sped up there. But it had such impact because of that. I thought that really worked.
Yeah.
You don't sound so sure.
You know, I don't know. You can't make everything into the story you want to make it into.
True.
But you are kind of telling the story, their story.
Yeah.
I worry sometimes with things like this that are clearly not written as stories. I worry that sometimes I go into some sort of mad kind of
story mode.
sort of weird rhythm that
maybe.
I repeat myself on. But I don't know. They liked it. They bought it. And of course, as you get further into it, when you get to 1996. You know, it's you don't repeat it all the time.
You have to emphasize as well. You have to make a play on the product names and the company names, because that's what they want. They love that.
Exactly. That's what they're there to do. Absolutely.
Did you get to 1987?
Let me out of here. I got very excited if they skipped a few years. If they skipped 6 years. Great.
But what happened in those years? That's what I want to know.
They had nothing going on. It was like they weren't doing any work at all.
Treading water. God, Odin. Get your act together, guys.
Did you change the name of the company?
I did. It isn't really called Odin.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I was just about to say it is worthwhile remembering that these are real scripts, but we have changed the names and some of the details to avoid copyright issues. So fortunately, people don't know that it was Odin, or it's a great name, though.
Great name.
Fantastic stuff.
So, Aubrey, you've bought us a very, very different script. Can you tell us a bit about it?
This was actually a company that I ended up working through one of the P2P websites.
Right.
Yep. They came to me saying that it was going to be a cartoon selling the product. It was to be funky and funny, but they wanted it to sound like a 1930s newsreader, but frantic.
Oh, frantic. Okay, that's interesting.
You hear those old newscasts where they speak like that and everything's very proper and right. That's what they wanted.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because most clients don't know the difference between the 1930s pathé reel, the 1940s pathé reel, and the 1950s pathé reel. All very different styles, in fact.
Yeah.
But they lump it all together.
You know, past a certain generation, nobody's going to know the difference, really.
No.
Exactly, which is why they lump it all together.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do vintage news, kind of, Sam, at all, do you?
Not really, mainly perhaps. I've done this kind of character, in a play or in an audio drama, but it's because I suppose they didn't use women to do this.
Well,
maybe there's less,
although there's that brilliant
around.
Tyrrell's crisp advert.
Oh yes, I mean she does brilliant.
Terribly tasty, and she is superb.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know who that is, but she's superb.
I'm guessing you want me to go first, don't you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, me who knows the least about it than anybody. But yeah, okay.
You know.
All right, then. I'll give it a go. In an industrious little factory town full of busy bees and eager beavers, one future captain of industry is getting ready for the breakfast of champions. Call her the Cornflake Queen, the Hostess of Toast, the High Priestess of the Pre-Munch Bunch Club. But, oh no, what's this? Cupboards bare? Parents brawling? Things just got cereal. Who can possibly rescue us from this malodorous meal? Ooh. Malodorous mealtime malady. Malodorous mealtime malady. Ooh. Who can possibly rescue us from this malodorous mealtime malady?
Oh, you went quick, blimey, and that
Did
was
I?
very quick for you. Yeah. But I think that's what it needed. I think that's what it needed.
Had Aubrey not said that, I would definitely wouldn't have done it as quickly as that.
Fair, that makes
wouldn't
sense.
have done.
It's like a giant tongue twister. I mean, that was
Yes,
it
you know,
is.
that was the way. And this script was 2 minutes, something like that, maybe even 3. It was very long.
Right.
In total, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And it went on and on and on at that pace. So
The only thing you tripped over, Sam,
Did I not say pre-bunch munch club? I said it all wrong,
you
didn't
got
I?
it the wrong way round because it's pre-brunch and it's really difficult to say
Pre-brunch munch club.
pre-brunch munch club.
I-
Yeah.
As I said it, I knew I'd got it wrong.
To be fair, a director would have made you do a second take and probably just pick that one line out.
Probably would have made me do the whole thing number of times in a different way. Yes, that's. I must admit that wasn't necessarily my my comfort zone in any way.
interestingly, when I did the recording and sent it over to them, they ummed and ahed for about a week, and then they came back and they rewrote the script,
Oh, don't you love clients that do that?
and then they rewrote it again. Just to make the flow of because it is, like I said, it's like this giant tongue twister. Make the flow of the words flow better, if you like.
The other thing that I was aware of is that I didn't ramp the penultimate line. I didn't ramp up enough, but the bit I enjoyed most was the oh no, what's this? I enjoyed that more than any other bit of it.
And that's where the character of the narrator really comes out.
But I was really aware that I didn't. My things just got cereal. I didn't ramp up enough. But hey, we do it once, and that's them's the breaks, kids. Them's the breaks.
Oh yeah.
I noticed, Sam, you didn't have an intro line for your getting into your vintage voice, but I do have one.
You see, there's the experience that shows, isn't it? Because that's interesting. So you have a line that gets you in there.
Yeah,
of
that
course
takes me
you
in there.
do. Why wouldn't you?
So here we go. And here coming up the mall is the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. In an industrious little factory town full of busy bees and eager beavers, one future captain of industry is getting ready for the breakfast of champions. Call her the Cornflake Queen, the Hostess of Toast, the High Priestess of the Pre-Brunch Munch Club. But oh no, what's this? Cupboards bare? Parents bawling? Things just got cereal. Who can possibly rescue us from this malodorous mealtime malady?
Oh,
Very
he's good,
nice.
Isn't he? And he good.
He is good. And, I would have gone at that pace because I was way quicker than that.
You were a bit. I was concentrating really hard
You were
on
very
getting
good.
those two phrases
Very
correct.
good.
And but it did take a bit of extra concentration. And I do admit that this afternoon when I first saw this, I did go through it a couple of times in my office.
Stupidly, I'd never read it.
You never do, Sam. You never
No,
read scripts
I
before we
just
do
didn't
them.
read it.
Can you see how the in-line just gets me right there?
Well, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I now feel a fool.
I want to hear how Aubrey did it, and I want to hear how different it is, because I
Yes.
suspect it will be very different to the way I just did it.
In an industrious little factory town full of busy bees and eager beavers, one future captain of industry is getting ready for the breakfast of champions. Call her the Cornflake Queen, the Hostess of Toast, the High Priestess of the Pre-Brunch Munch Club. But oh no, what's this? Cupboards bare? Parents bawling? Things just got cereal. Who can possibly rescue us from this malodorous mealtime malady?
I love the drama that you put in.
Yes.
Things just got cereal there. It's like, I don't think either of us did that sound.
No,
That was lovely.
no, I definitely didn't. But
And that was fast and it was manic.
Yeah.
Yes, and do you know what I absolutely loved? One future captain of industry. You gave us a one.
Yeah.
That's just one future captain of industry. Yeah, no, it was lovely. There were lots of little areas that you really kind of tweaked it up a bit to really make the most of it.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, loved it.
Would you say, Aubrey, that the majority of your work is character work?
I do a lot of gaming work, and that is all flat out characters.
Right. Okay.
Big characters.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah.
Even I've even done telephone systems where they want character voices.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I do a lot of telephony, as you know, Aubrey, and I have found over the last 2 years specifically, more and more clients are coming for character voices on their phone systems because they don't want something that everybody else has got.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, recently I had to be a mad Mexican for a building firm.
Oh, how hilarious! Wow. Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and I like getting into character.
Play How Do You Say That?
Righto, here is the bit that we wait for. This is the wildcard section. Let's see if we can approach these scripts in a completely different way. Now, Aubrey, could you pick one of the scripts for Sam and give her a character and an action or a motivation so that she can do that and act through it with it?
Yeah. I'm really going to test you now, Sam, because I want you to do script 1.
Yep.
Right. Ooh.
And I want you to be a very nervous vet.
Vet.
Yep.
Yep.
Vet.
Okay.
Okay.
Vet.
Shaving a very angry cat.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So there's like teeth and nails
Yeah.
going everywhere.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Nervous vet. Angry cat. Okay.
Meow.
God. Right. In 1972, Odin launched our first modern diagnostics business, quickly becoming a world leader in cutting-edge diagnostics. No. Screening and monitoring technologies. 1972. Odin introduces the Odin 100 blood chemistry analyzer to determine enzyme levels and analyse blood components. There, Kitty. There. 1974. Aline II, an improved hepatitis test developed by Odin. There, allowed hospitals and blood banks for the first time to supply blood transfusions for the same day. It's drawn.
Bravo.
Bravo. I'm hoping the sound effects help.
They did help. Thank you.
Well done for keeping that up all the way
Angry
through
cat.
that. I'm impressed. Yeah.
It was really obvious that you were both scared of the cat and not wanting to put your hands anywhere near it.
Exactly.
And that really came across.
Yeah.
I could almost feel you backing away.
It was weird actually, because of course I had to imagine the cat.
Yeah.
And I was sort of keeping it at arm's length, but still keeping on the mic. But anyway, you know.
Right, Aubrey, I'm going to suggest one for you, and I'm going to go down an accent route for you. If I said Benny from Crossroads.
I do be. Miss Diane.
Miss Diane.
Okay.
Forgotten all that.
But I think doing the second script, the script that you brought, because it will put a very different spin on it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a go. Brummy, you want? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got it.
Yeah.
If you've got it in your wheelhouse.
In the armoury. In an industrious little factory town full of busy bees and eager beavers, one future captain of industry is getting ready for the breakfast of champions. Call her the Cornflake Queen, the Hostess of Toast, the High Priestess of the Pre-Brunch Munch Club. But oh no, what's this? Cupboards bare, parents bawling, things just got serial. Who can possibly rescue us from this melodious mealtime melody?
Oh,
I love that. That was brilliant. That was really good.
So lovely, actually. It was actually really
I feel like I should have a
heartfelt.
bobble hat on and welly boots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you got to, but oh no.
Oh no!
It's like, oh, that was brilliant. I love that.
Fabulous.
Well done. Well, that is taking a brief and absolutely running with it. Well done.
So
well
superb.
done.
Right, Mark.
Yes.
You can do any accent you like for this.
Okay.
You are a divorced dad
Right.
chatting up the woman next door over the fence.
Oh, okay. And which script might that
Oh,
be?
very good point, actually. Script 1.
Oh. Not the one I was hoping for, Sam.
Oh, go on, then script 2, then, if you want to go script 2.
Are you sure?
If you, Mark, could chat up a lady.
Well, I mean, my full acting capabilities going on.
I want you to bring it all to the fore
Let's
here,
just
Mark.
see how good you really are.
Yeah. Right, Sandra. In an industrious little factory town, hey, it's full of busy bees and eager beavers. One future captain of industry is getting ready for the breakfast of champions.
Oh.
Call her the Cornflake Queen.
Ah.
Oh, you're the hostess of toast, the high priestess of the pre-brunch munch club. Oh, but what? Oh no! What's this? Cupboard's bare, Sandra. Parents bawling. Things just got cereal. Can you possibly rescue me from this malodorous mealtime malady?
Brian, I bet I can.
Oh, God. Stop it. Get a room.
The horror. No, that was really good, actually.
Did that work for you?
I enjoyed that.
Good.
I could see that. That was really. We're going now. We're going crossroads. We're going good life. That was a bit,
Yeah, it was a bit.
It worked for me, but I don't think it was supposed to, was it?
Maybe not. Maybe not so much, Aubrey. It's like...
Maybe not then.
Well, of course, if you want to play along in the privacy of your own booth, I'm in that vintage style now. It's like I can't get rid of it. We've put the scripts in the show notes so you can have a try yourself.
Yes, you certainly can. You can. And our question this week is, Aubrey, so you're an accent specialist, you know that. So you can do loads and loads and loads of different accents. So at a time when more and more people are talking, in the acting world about authenticity.
Authenticity.
Yes. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, it's quite a difficult one, isn't it? It's interesting. I'm constantly being told by agents that they want authentic accents and there's, for example, there's not that many Welsh voices, we want Welsh. But I'm constantly landing jobs that aren't my natural Welsh stroke RP accent.
Interesting.
Anything to do with gaming, they don't care where you come from. If you can do an accent, what they're more interested in is the performance.
So they're less precious about the authenticity than in gaming.
Okay, here's a classic example. I was up in London recently. I went into a studio to be a Welsh blacksmith warrior in a game.
As you do.
And I walked into the studio and the director went, actually, we're kind of thinking Scottish. So I said, okay, Scottish is fine. So I went into the booth and I was down the line to someone in the US and a couple of people in the UK and the people that were in the studio with me. Yep. And I stood there and I went, right, let's get things started then. We're going to have a great big fight here. And a voice came down the line and he was in LA and he went, actually, Aubrey, I was wondering if you could be slightly less Glaswegian. And I said, oh, so you want more David Tennant, less the big yin. He said, that's exactly it. So I had to change the accent slightly to make it more Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Regarding authenticity, I think if you're doing regional advertising, it's got to be right. And they want people that can either really pull it off really well so nobody will notice, or, to make things safe for themselves, they ask for genuine regional accents.
I was once told that if you did an audition in a specific accent, you ought to turn up to the session with that accent.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because you don't want to
blow it.
It's smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's you just have to have confidence in what you're doing. Yeah. But to have confidence, you have to know the accent inside out. There are some accents I won't touch. I won't touch Norfolk. It's just weird to my ear. I can't get it. Can't get it.
Yeah.
So do you soak up accents wherever you go?
Yes. As a kid, I got cousins in Newcastle, you know, and I'd go up talking like a little Welsh boy, and I'd come back like, flipping heck, man, we were out down to it last night. It was all wonderful and fantastic. Like,
Love it.
But that's sponges, isn't it? That's what we do. We pick up on accents.
As you say, it's incredibly useful when you're doing stuff that's drama-based, because they may get you in for that, you know, Welsh king with all the, whatever you were, the blacksmith or whatever. But they may, at the end of the session, think, oh, actually, of course, it'd be great if we could. You can't do a or whatever, and then they can get you to do all sorts of other things.
Well, yes, and I've. It's been the same with I was a professional singer for years, and people would say, well, what do you sing? And I say, well, I'm a musical prostitute. I'll sing anything, you know, rock, pop, soul, jazz, swing, rap, whatever. I'll sing it. And I was doing an advert for Cadbury's where I was having to sing, and they wanted a rock voice. We were actually doing We Will Rock You for the advert. And the guy who was going after me was an opera singer, and he didn't turn up to the session. And they were in the studio, and they're going, oh, this guy hasn't turned up. And I said, well, what was he booked to sing? Oh, he was singing the opera lines. I said, well, I can sing opera. And they were, really? So double bubble. I was like, well, stay here. And, you know, so I did the rock lines and then the opera lines. And but voiceover's the same. If you can add those extra strings to your bow. So as well as doing accents, you have to be able to perform. Yeah. You know, you've got to be able to turn those words into an emotion that will make people laugh or cry or buy or sell.
Yes. There's always a reason why they've got a voice doing something, and you need to deliver on that.
Indeed,
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Aubrey. Thanks so much for coming on.
It's a lovely insight, isn't it? Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
And, of course, a reminder that all of Aubrey's details can be found in the show notes.
Yes, we'll also be putting today's scripts in the show notes so that you can have a read yourself.
Yes, you can. So please like and subscribe to this little podcast so you never miss an episode, and feel free to give us a review if you want to.
Absolutely, please do. That's it for this week. Thanks again to Aubrey Parsons, and we will be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest where we'll be asking, how do you say that?
How do you say that?